Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd like to do today is go through a book entitled Raising Cain, a book looking at protecting the emotional life of boys by a dual authorship of Dan Kindlon and Michael Thompson. And this book is considered to be a groundbreaking exploration of the emotional lives of boys and the challenges they face in a society that often discourages vulnerability and emotional expression. The authors are both psychologists, drawing on extensive research and case studies to highlight the importance of nurturing boys' emotional well-being. So let's see what we can pick out of this book and how it can benefit us in terms of looking at ways in which we can support the growth and development of boys. The authors here touch on something which is really important, and the first point is the emotional development of boys is crucial. Kindlon and Thompson emphasize that emotional intelligence is just as important for boys as academic success is. They argue that understanding and expressing emotions can lead to a healthier relationship with themselves and others, and far better coping mechanisms. Parents, educators and caregivers are encouraged to prioritise, wherever possible, emotional development alongside cognitive skills. So it's not either or. What we're saying is that we need to try and do it alongside and in parallel to the academic achievements. The authors talk about societal expectations and the gender norms and discuss the impact that these have that dictate in some way how boys should behave. These societal norms are really powerful and have a significant influence on how boys process things and how they think that they should behave. And the authors argue, and rightfully so, that traditional masculinity often encourages boys to suppress emotions, leading to feelings of isolation and, worst of all, confusion. So the call to action for parents and boys is to try and challenge these norms where possible, because it's essential for fostering boys' emotional growth and development. We look at the importance, the ongoing importance of emotional expression, and this book underscores the need for boys to express their emotions openly, not to suppress them, but to feel free to say how they feel without shame or without being judged. So this is a key point for educators and the people who have and can influence the framework within a school environment. Kindlon and Thompson advocate for creating safe environments where boys feel comfortable sharing their feelings without fear of judgment or ridicule. And in some way, single-sex education is really important here, because boys' schools can offer, to a certain extent, I'm not saying that they're perfect, these safe spaces where boys can be free to be men and not to feel as if they're being judged or ridiculed by those of the opposite sex. Because this expression is critical for their emotional growth and resilience, something to once again remember and to understand. The authors go on to talk about the importance of fathers and father figures, and the authors highlight the significant influence fathers have on their sons' emotional development. They encourage fathers to engage with their sons emotionally, whilst modelling vulnerability and openness. A strong father-son relationship can help boys navigate their emotional lives more effectively. We look at friendships and peer relationships, and the authors examine the importance of friendships in boys' lives. Simply put, boys like to hang out with other boys, just like girls like to hang out with other girls. They note that friendships provide support and a sense of belonging, which are vital for emotional health. Encouraging boys to maintain close friendships can also help them develop social skills and refine their emotional intelligence at the same time. We look at the impacts of bullying and emotion and what it has on emotion and emotional impact. And the book addresses the prevalence of bullying amongst boys and its emotional consequences. The authors stress the need for adults to recognise the signs of bullying and to intervene effectively, providing support for both victims and perpetrators is essential for fostering emotional growth. I like the way they focus here on helping the victim and the perpetrator. The impact of the media and culture are looked at in detail as well, because it's in these environments that representations of masculinity influence boys' self-perceptions and behaviours. They encourage parents to critically evaluate the media their sons consume and to engage in discussions about unrealistic portrayals of masculinity and emotional expression. The education system is also key. The authors advocate for educational systems that prioritise emotional learning and development. They argue that schools should create environments that engage emotional expression and provide resources specifically for boys to understand and manage their feelings. Teachers play a crucial role in supporting boys' emotional well-being is the key message that comes from this point. We move on to looking at the consequences of emotional suppression, and the authors discuss the long-term effects of emotional suppression in boys, including increased aggression, mental health issues, and difficulty in relationships. They stress the importance of addressing these issues early to prevent negative outcomes in adulthood. The last point is to encourage empathy and compassion. The authors emphasise the importance of teaching boys empathy and compassion, and by encouraging boys to consider others' feelings and perspectives, parents and educators can help them develop deeper emotional connections and foster healthier relationships throughout their lives. Take care.